Good.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Core O'Reilly series presented by SimRaces.com. And we are here at the official or unofficial home of Core, Kansas Speedway, for tonight's third race of the season. 80 laps on tap for these drivers. Good sized field out there, just over 40 drivers looking to take the green flag here tonight. So looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Now the first couple races were a bit rough. Drivers trying to kind of get themselves into the season, and realistically just a couple of tough tracks that to start the season for any series, as the series was at Rockingham and then Bristol, but now opens up a little bit here at Kansas before we head to another one that could scare some drivers, Talladega, coming up next week. But for now, we're here at the beautiful Kansas Speedway. Carlheim, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, back home again here in Kansas.
Yeah, back home in Kansas, I haven't been taken away yet, and not, I guess, until next week. But another race out here with the Core O'Reilly series and another large field. So I'm hoping the drivers are starting to get a little used to each other and give each other a little bit of space. 80 laps out here tonight on tap, and looking forward to seeing improvements from last week.
A few new faces here in the field. We'll see how they turn out here for their starting race here in CRN, in CRN Nation and in Core for that matter. There was a little bit of a number mix up here. Just didn't get the change done in time. So the number 10 tonight is going to be driven by a newcomer, Ethan Winters, and for those that are looking to support Matt Crockett, he is actually going to be in the number 36 here tonight. So just a little bit of a mix-up, but it is already corrected and it'll be good to go for the rest of the season. As drivers still finishing up qualifying right now. In the meantime, let's take a look at the standings coming in to tonight. As last week, if I click on the right standings, that would help. Last week, it was Joseph Truskowski taking home the win, and he now tops the boards in the overall well, I guess just really the overall right now, because he's still designated as a rookie, but certainly has come out and looking like he is going to be a full-fledged platinum driver. So top of the platinum standings is Alan Elwood by 31 over Nico Garcia, 34 over JP Phillips. In the gold, and actually second and third in the overall right now, is Joey Cruz, 15 points over Josh Van Westen, and then another 2 more points back to Jake Lesh in third. Silver, it is headed by Joseph Sullivan with a 23-point lead over Matt Crockett. Zane Bierman in third, 38 points back. And then in the bronze, it is Nathan Nickerson leading by 10 over Terry Jansen, 17 over Luis Arduna. And you can check out all those standings on the website, coreracingleague.com. And you can check out the standings, the schedule, not just for the O'Reilly series for Core, but you can check it out for the GT series. You can check it out for all the other ones that we cover on Sierra, and as well as we got plenty of information out there for you to check out. But looking forward to checking out tonight's race here, and 80 laps. It's really not that much here at Kansas, and if this thing does go green, it can go by pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those races that it really can go by fairly quickly, and uh, you know, do what it needs to, do what we need to do, and have fun out here. So I'm hoping to see a green flag race for the most part, and I know there's some good racing and some good opportunities for some passes. I just hope that the drivers, like I said, behave themselves. Obviously things were a little rough the past couple weeks, and as the new drivers are out here with the rest of the field, and we have larger fields this season, so it can always be a headache. If things don't go, people don't play nice. But some drivers actually doing pretty well throughout this. Obviously, I talked about it, and Joey Cruz. Having those great finishes and being pretty far up there in the overall standings, let alone just the gold division. So he keeps this pace up, and might find himself rolling around with the likes of Alan Elwood from each week to contend for platinum. So been doing very good this season so far, making some smart decisions here throughout the first couple weeks, and getting some great finishes on some of those terrible races overall for some. But a lot of drivers out here tonight for sure. I don't know if I have my overlays on. I do have the standings up, so I guess we can bring that up. The qualifying is done and ready to go. Results for tonight will be as follow. Alan Elwood on the pole and Tommy Ryan on the outside. JP Phillips and Aaron Edwards up there on row number 2. Chris Gilbert, Ethan Winters, Jason Crispin, Matt Crockett, Joey Cruz in ninth, and Dylan Emerson in 10th. You got Billy Rickett, Nico Garcia, Jacob Lesh, Joe Sullivan, Dan Phelps, Jacob Grube, Joseph Tragowski back at 17th, last week's winner and points leader. Michael Rakes in 18th, Jason Lapon in 19th, Josh Van Westen back in 20th. John Williams, Nathan Nickerson, Zane Bierman, Travis Noble, Bernie Reyes, Terry Jansen, Byron Vorse, Blaze Altop, Louis Arduna, Chase Halford, Chris Hayes, Courtney Nickerson, Jason Algrini, Jeff Ryan, Randy Yoakum, John Crane, Ricky Renner, PJ Jackson, Jared Couch, Stephen Harris, Troy Snyder, Richie Bradshaw, for 42 driver count here at Kansas. It should be a wild one.
And 2 drivers, unfortunately, were suspended for this race, or we may even have more than that out there, as unfortunately no Colin Flickiger or Jeremy Gainey for this race, and they'll be cleared of most of their penalty points for serving this suspension, and they'll be back out in action, I'm sure, next week. But we'll see who's got the hot shoe here tonight. Plenty of rookies starting up there towards the front right now, 4th through 7th, all rookies out there still waiting to get rid of their rookie stripes. But another pole position here for Alan Elwood. Will Tommy Ryan, JP Phillips be able to keep him in check here at the beginning of this race? We're about to find out as the pace car lights are off. Back into pit lane. It's time to get this thing underway as they head to the starting zone. Barney dropping that green flag, and we are racing here at Kansas.
Away they go, obviously too wide, and hopefully to get some good runs here. And Kansas is one of those tracks you can drive it pretty hard, pretty early. But we've seen the car be loose at some of the earlier tracks and having some issues. So hoping the drivers get a little bit of time, obviously trying to make some position moves here on lap number 1, but let them tires warm up and give each other space. Lots of room up there, but we do have one going sideways.
I believe it was Josh Van Westen sideways. Still got some more cars coming in at the end. We'll take a look back and see what brought this one out. It looks like Bernie Reyes going to walk away with a meatball, as is Allegrini, Orduna, and Van Westen. Let's take a look back and see what may have caused our first caution here of the night. And right there, just kind of caught in between seams, the 21 there of Van Westen right up into Luis Orduna, and you see a couple of cars trying to check out, but unfortunately getting sideways. You just got done saying it, Jimmy. You got to let these tires come in to their their drivability zone, and that means getting them up to pressure, getting up to temperature here, or that's exactly what's going to happen right there. And unfortunately, we do have quite a bit of meatballs that needed to be served on this one. But either way, hopefully these drivers now realize that, like, just because it's Kansas, just because it's, it can be somewhat of an easier track, if you want to consider it that, certainly compared to Rockingham and Bristol, doesn't mean it's not going to claim some victims. You got to be careful on those first couple laps. You got to get those tires up to temperature. And, I mean, taking a look at the weather, not really too bad out there. I mean, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, the track temperature 77. Not bad in the sense that it might actually not be good, because it might be so cool that it takes even longer for those tires to warm up.
Yeah, obviously track temperature and air temperature are a big play on tires on a track, especially on a track here like Kansas. And it's one thing the drivers need to keep in mind. And now, obviously, with the early caution, I'm not seeing many people. I don't think many people will come in at the moment. 80 laps. Don't know how long you could stretch this thing out, but just like last week, if this thing turns into what it was last week, it could be out here for quite a little while. So then it just becomes, when should I pit? Because we know they can't go. I don't think they could
No,
go
they can't
even
go
under
80.
caution
No.
from start to finish. So, it's, you don't want to give up track position, but you don't want to make the wrong call and come in at the wrong time, or stay out too long thinking a caution might come out, and next thing you know, you're kind of off cycle and a lap behind because he had to come in, because you do go a lap down here at Kansas. So um, can they make it happen here tonight? Like I said, this is in here. It's early, obviously early laps, and I'm sure there's already settling in some drivers' mind, like, already, like, come on, guys, But you can just see, Josh Van Westen, the car just broke loose. Wasn't
It was kind of caught in between
really.
seams there as well, and
Yeah.
it's one thing that Kansas does have. It has a little bit of progressive banking, and I think that may be what it is. It doesn't, you don't really see it that much on TV here. You don't really even see it that much in the car, but it's almost akin to kind of straddling the apron on the bottom. There is a difference in banking, and it's not full contact with the wheels for the contact patch to get that car rotated around, and unfortunately broke loose for him. But shout out to Courtney Nickerson right now, who has the fastest lap of the race with a 101.49.
Nice.
So hot lap there for Courtney Nickerson early on. But either way, we're gonna send it back to Barney, and hopefully we'll see this green flag drop and stay out for quite some time as Elwood back on the loud pedal, and we're back to racing here at Kansas.
Looks like a good start from the field as they work their way through the start-finish line, and obviously now to get up to speed and get down to the lines they like. Some people may be stuck on the outside, want to be on the inside. Some people might want the high side, and go on the low side. But here they go down the backstretch, kind of jockeying around a little bit. You can see through the field, everybody trying to find their opening, their lane, trying to get things done here tonight and get this thing underway. And I'm sure we'll spread out. You can see them obviously going down below that white line. Ugh, I hate that. Let's put it that way.
Not a big fan.
Don't like it. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
It's good battling here as Jake Lesh had to back out of there a little bit as you see him right behind the 36 of Matt Crockett here tonight. But good battle right here between the 41 of Dylan Emerson, the 7 of Billy Rickett, as they're back here just outside the top 10. Dylan Emerson actually in 10th position right now, but this is definitely a track where you can easily go 2 wide, and really even in the corners you can go 3 wide here. It's plenty of room, and it really, those different bankings there, the different grooves kind of show you that there are kind of 3 lines here in the corners, but you got to make sure that you're ready to exit those corners. Because the track does kind of level off a little bit, especially onto the back stretch. On the front stretch, well, you have the apron that Jimmy liked so much, is getting a little close there on the front. But some good racing right now. And again, hopefully these drivers now understand that they got to just calm it down here a little bit. Looks like PJ Jackson back here in the back of the field. Not sure. Looks like he got some of his damage repaired. He's back out there, but unfortunately off the pace right now, and could be caught by the leaders here very soon, as they're already in the 3 and 4, looking to complete lap number 8 right here, as Alan Elwood leads the way. Tommy Ryan in second, JP Phillips, Jason Chrisman, and Ethan Winters for your top 5. Then Chris Gilbert, Aaron Edwards, Joey Cruz, Nico Garcia, and Dylan Emerson for the top 10. And I do have word that there is a champion on the box of the 28 here tonight, with Jack Stoneman not running this season. He decided to still be a part, and he is crew chiefing the 28 here tonight. And we'll see if Cruz has a nice little cruise here to a good finish. And if not, well, he's got somebody to blame. He can blame that spotter up there in the booth.
Wrecked there by the 55. And they're getting there. Was it the 55 or was it the 59?
I got the
another 41 on around.
Sideways, as that was close right there. We'll take a look as we were keeping an eye on them earlier.
59, yep.
Oh, 59 tagged the apron right there, and it shot him straight up to the outside.
Hope you don't like the apron.
Well, that's definitely not a place where you want to hit the apron at all, as he hit it on the entry to turn at number 1 right there, and going to send the 41 around. Will get us under another caution here early on, but looks like the 41 going to stay out here. It doesn't look like too much damage to the 41, and maybe just kind of wanting to catch up to the field here and keep, I'd say, keep some track position. He's back there, unfortunately, in 32nd right now. I'm sure doesn't want to use that fast repair early. There's not enough damage, in my opinion, on that car to use a fast repair, since they only do have one here for the series.
Yeah, one and only. So you get one shot, one opportunity, and if you reckon turn one lap, one guy used a fast repair, well, it's gone. So and then you gotta go out there and survive the rest of the 78 laps. So it's kind of give and take, and already the leader coming down with the rest of the field. A little bit of accordion. It's gonna get ugly. Oh, and it's going all the way back.
Maybe some extra damage on some of these cars. It looks like Nathan Nickerson decides to stay out here and going to switch everything up. I don't think it's... Well, I mean, do you dare take tires early? I know they have unlimited tires this season, but is it worth taking tires this early, or, because the size of the field, do you decide to do something a little bit different just to get yourself, some track position and move yourself up there, or even some of the, the early... the early leaders here, do they even, take a chance taking 4 and dropping back through the field? Right now, it looks like Nathan Nickerson yet to come into the pits for this race. He is now your new leader. John Williams Sr. and Bernie Reyes Jr. are second and third as they pit on lap number 2. I believe both were involved in that first incident. Then you got Chris Hayes and Richie Bradshaw. Both have yet to come into the pits as well. So that's going to be your new top 5. JP Phillips decides to go a little bit off strategy. Maybe only taking 2, like my co-commentator mentioned here. Maybe taking some right side tires here. JP Phillips now out there in 6th position. Jason Chrisman in 7th, as it looks like he is the first one with 4 tires. Not sure what happened to Alan Elwood, and still not sure what happened to Alan Elwood here, as I don't see any kind of penalties for the 5. But he's dropping to the back of the field here.
Is he giving himself a penalty? Did he mess that up?
Yeah, I'm not sure, as it looks like he's staying out, so he's not coming back into the pits. But Elwood dropping to the back here for whatever reason. I mean, his pit stop seemed okay. A 14.43 second pit stop, but for some reason the 5 dropped to the back. But either way, we are doubling them up here. It's time to go back to racing. 13 laps down. Still got plenty of racing yet to go. 67 laps to go once we get back to the line. Yes, Jimmy, 6-7 laps to go. But it's going to be some new leaders out front. We'll see how they handle this restart.
6-7. I mean, whoever thought that a couple set of numbers would be a meme for so long, and I'm sure it will be for quite some time. Just like a lot of other combinations of numbers from songs or whatever it may be, that are, I'm sure, sticking a lot of people's heads out there. But the 280 of Nathan Nickerson leads here from simracing.com there, and one of the sponsors here for the series. So get it out front, get some lap sleds, see if those older tires can withstand and hold up against the newer tires. As the field jockeys around here just a little bit, everybody kind of trying to get back in position where they need to be.
Looks like caution was extended here. One more lap too, because I think some drivers still weren't in the correct position, because I see not just Alan Elwood, but Tommy Ryan dropping back towards the back of the pack as well. Am I missing something here, Jimmy? Was the front row supposed to go to the back row? Is it something new here? It looks like Tommy Ryan got some damage there. For sure.
Yeah, that was
on the back end with the accordion.
Yeah, I think that's what. I don't know if Alan did it to himself, and maybe Tommy stayed in a little longer to try to get some of that repaired done, because you could definitely, somebody could fit their bumper right up inside Tommy's bumper. So, anybody following Tommy, they got about 6 inches more in order to get a little bit closer.
If you want a bump draft, you're going to have to get deep in there.
Yeah, you got to get right up in there. Yeah, it's been a while since you kind of seen that. So, there ain't going to be no steering damage, but, whoever hit them, might have that front end damage as well. That or reinforced bumper. But we're gonna get going on the green here as the pace car comes in off the track, does a little loop-de-loop or oop-to-do there, and Nathan Nickerson will lead them off here for the start.
Nickerson back on the loud pedal, and we're back to racing here as a bit of a bunch up here, and I think we're going to be under another caution.
Oh my goodness.
As there was quite a few drivers getting mixed up on that, maybe just trying to time the restart and trying to catch everything. It won't even let me scroll up. There's so much going on right now. But unless I'm mistaken, we are still green, Jimmy. Indeed, we are.
Yeah.
So quite a few drivers get mixed up in that one, and we got Jason LePan and Josh Van Westen, both with a meatball flag. I think just some people trying to time that restart, and you mentioned the accordion in pit road. There's definitely an accordion out there on the track, but right now John Williams Sr. leads the way. The 54 now, Jason Crispin looking to the inside for the lead, side by side, as J.P. Phillips trying to make those new two-lap tire or two right side tires work. He's on the outside right now, and now it looks like we will get a yellow flag.
Yeah, thrown by race control, and I can't say race control, but admin out there, as you're still seeing a bunch of cars like down in the pits and stuff. So on track admin always has our blessing and support, whatever they deem necessary here for the race, and we can always talk about it afterwards if it was unnecessary. But you can see the 95 might need to tow this one in, Carl.
Well, that's I think maybe what brought this out. I'm not sure if it was thrown by the admins or not, but we'll take a look back here at the restart, and trying to take a look here where it may have started. I know it started up there close to the front. As you see right there already, Billy Rickett setting the 19 sideway, and I don't know why this wasn't a caution in the first place. I mean, that's a huge pileup on the front stretch. Cars stopped sideways, everything like that. That's, again, you hate to see it on the restart like this, but what frustrates even more is when iRacing doesn't throw a caution for that. Like, that's horrible, Jimmy. I mean, not that I want to see more cautions, but if a caution is necessary like that right there, I mean, come on. Like, they're not off the track. They're covered, spread out across the entire track. I know the field is on the back stretch, and yeah, they have time to get turned back around, but that's not a good look right there for sure.
Yeah, I don't get sometimes why iRacing does that. Sometimes it's somebody just ran over a blade of grass, and they're throwing a caution, and then you'll have like a 10-car pileup and nothing. So. It's really kind of inconsistent lately. I know they do their best, and it is hard. You got to think about everybody's internet connections, and they're, talking to the server and yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, got a lot of cars out here. I imagine there's, obviously some connection issues for some of these drivers. Not everybody runs 100% all the time. I wish we could all have great internet, but, it's not everywhere as of yet. So. But your leader now is the number 42, John Williams, the senior, up 20 spots, sitting in the number 42 car. Jason Crispin, Nathan Nixon, J.P. Phillips, and Joey Cruz for your top 5.
I want to thank everyone out there in Sierra Nation for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that Sierra has to offer, as we're going to get this thing back underway. Pace car lights are out again. And we got some more drivers that came in, took some tires, some pit stops here. We'll see how it all works out. Your early front row for the race are buried right now in the middle of the field, 22nd and 24th for Alan Elwood and Tommy Ryan. So we'll see how they can move their way through the field right now. J.P. Phillips started up there in third. He is up in fourth position right now after just switching up the strategy here a little bit, but they're all going to be following John Williams Sr. here on this restart.
Yeah, and they just everybody up front has, like, the whole field needs to pay attention, even in the back. Like, if you're halfway through the field, you should not even be thinking about trying to, like, be on right on the guy's bumper and even thinking about trying to time the start. Let the car roll in front of you, then hit the damn gas. It's really not that hard. You're not gonna win it here on lap number 19. In turn number 1. It's just not gonna happen, and it doesn't work that way. So you need to get out there, pay attention to the lineup. They did a pretty decent job with the starts last week, but obviously some early checkups. But people getting a little bit too anxious and trying to jump these starts, and that you get that accordion. It just gets amplified as it goes back in the field. 42 not wasting no time, getting on that loud pedal, gets off to a nice little jump there as they head down to turn number 1, going 3 wide behind.
Not wasting any time here to get to some racing, and we'll head now out of turn number 2 onto the backstretch. Again, some of these drivers taking 2 tires, taking 4 tires in this pit stop or the previous one. You still need to get those new tires up to temperature, just like the old ones. So hopefully they understand that. And we got a car down there on the apron. Looks like Zayden Bierman may have to come in to serve a penalty. Looks like Billy Ricketts and Randy Yoakum, as well as Jacob Grube, have to serve a penalty on this one, as well as Grube and Bierman come into the pits. Looks like Yoakum into the pits as well. So it just leaves Billy Rickett. But right now, Jason Chrisman on the outside, battling the 42 of Williams Sr. for that lead. And the high side a lot of times runs pretty well here at Kansas. You get some good runs off the corners. See the 31 back there, Nico Garcia, looking to try and get to the front as well, searching back and forth in front of JP Phillips, as we are going to have another caution here at the back of the field. Looks like a big impact there for Matt Crockett. Nathan Nickerson involved, and Richie Bradshaw going to be involved here as well. Three wide racing, and it just did not work. Not enough room given right there between the 36 and the 280. And then heavy impact right there with the 203.
Oh my goodness.
203
Talk about being rocked.
Bradshaw. Yeah, that was a rough one. We'll take a look at that one on board here with the 203. And you see the heavy impact right there. And 3 meatballs being served on that one.
Are we just not paying attention? I mean, I was in the cockpit just kind of looking ahead like I was the driver. I see a car turn and smoke, and I don't know how much he was letting off, but it was almost like he went to the right to line up to hit him. Wow. Yeah, the opportunity was there to take somebody out, I guess. Carl, I'm
head scratcher.
I'm out of words here tonight.
Yeah, head scratcher to say the least, unfortunately. But under another caution, I will see your leaders come into the pits here as Williams Sr., Joey Cruz, Dan Phelps all come into the pits. So Nico Garcia is going to slide up to the front of this field with JP Phillips up there as well. Truskowski going to move up into third. Ethan Winters, Jake Lesh, now your new top 5. Aaron Edwards, Luis Arduna, Chris Hayes, Dylan Emerson, and Chase Halford is your top 10. But plenty of drivers here in the pits. And now as we get to lap number 23, 24 here, I think they're still well outside the range of being able to make this thing on one more, on this stop right here. I think they're going to need at least one more stop to get this thing done and to the end. But you start to wonder when track position is going to start meaning a little bit more here, and making sure you stay out there to avoid some of these situations.
Sorry, I was reading Discord. I mean, obviously we know cautions are all part of racing. We know that, and it's just one of those things out there here tonight, and to kind of get these drivers to kind of settle down just a little bit. You're already 24 laps into this race, and you've spent more time going, pace speed than race speed, and obviously, like I said, if the race turns into what it was last week, I'm not trying to jinx anybody, but It's all about making the pit stop at the right time, and you don't catch yourself staying out, and then you can't make it the rest of the way. And I don't blame them for wanting to stay up front where the driving seems to be okay, or the accordion effect is less than if it was in the greater or in the back part of the field, because that's everything just kind of gets amplified as it goes back to the field, and with a large field, gets amplified pretty much, and that's why we had the early caution even before the start finish line, and I can say right now that I do not enjoy reviewing 10 million incidents after the race, and we will do it. But they're going to start getting harsher.
Yeah, the penalties already started getting harsher last week already, and it just is what it is until things clean up. I mean, you gotta understand as a driver as well that it's nice to have these larger fields, but that also brings net code into play a lot more. It brings in the fact that anything can happen just right around the corner with so many cars right there. One little mistake that may typically be a single car incident is going to be a 5, 6, 7 car incident because of all the other cars out there on the track. So it sometimes looks a lot worse than it would be if it was only like a 20 car field. But really, it's ultimately on the drivers. I mean, you can penalize all you want, and you can penalize it to the point where there's 20 drivers suspended for the next week. But if those other 20, 30 drivers that are out there on the track still cause issues, there's only so much you can do. The drivers just need to calm down a little bit. I know we said 80 laps can go by quickly here at Kansas, but it's going to go by a lot slower if we're under caution the entire time, and unfortunately cautions breed cautions because the drivers get a little bit more amped up because they don't know when the next caution is coming out, so they're going to go for those aggressive moves to try and make those passes, and that never works for anybody.
Nah, it never works for anybody, and I'm hoping those that are listening in the background to just please come up for the love to hear it. Get us some noise for these race cars here tonight, and put on a great show and finish things up, and get these things another clean start here. So the green flag will fly, looking in the back, and maybe a possible jump there by somebody on the outside, and I do see a black flag from Billy Rickett, so I don't know if that was the car that jumped or not.
No, he had a black flag from earlier. I think he
Okay.
needs to serve it as we head down the backstretch. And again, hopefully these drivers can just get spread out here a little bit and get some green flag racing. Just for the fans out there as well. I mean, everybody out there in Sierra Nation deserves to see a good race here. As you got the 20 of J.P. Phillips on the outside of Nico Garcia, Joseph Truskowski, last week's winner, and your overall points leader right now in third place. We got newcomer Aaron Edwards up there as well, the 65 of the 65 of Aaron Edwards and the 10 of Ethan Winters, both newcomers here to the series. Jake Lesh doing well up at the front as well, but unfortunately, we're going to be caught by another caution. This one, Jeff Ryan just drifted up out of the corner, and unfortunately causing the issue here as Dan Phelps, Jeff Ryan, Brian Vorse all caught up in this incident here. Dan Phelps ends up getting a meatball, has to tow back to pit lane. I believe Billy Rickett got into pit lane in time to serve his penalty, so going to come back out, and at least that is done and served, but it is unfortunately we still got to get something going here, and it's just we say it every week now. I mean, you got to give each other room. If you're 3 wide, if you're 2 wide, if you're not sure, if you think you're too close, you're already too close, is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm just lost for words at the moment. Obviously, drivers looking to make sure they got enough fuel for get entry and stuff. So coming down here to pit lane, I'm sure we'll get some to stay out. Things will kind of jockey around here a little bit. I think it's a pretty smart call here on lap number 30 to get some tires and fuel as a good portion of the field will get slid back just a little bit. Maybe some drivers trying to keep some of those lap cars a lap down. We got a few people a lap down already. Grube, Greeny, Ricky Couch, Yoakum, Bradshaw, Lapon. Excuse me. Got a few people, even a couple laps down. So we got one lap down, and about six, 2 laps down, and then all top is 3, along with Jackson down 4. And unfortunately, Van Westen having to park it here tonight. 16 laps down at the moment, but we're only 30 laps into this race. Got 50. We're on lap 30, so we still got 50 laps here remaining for the night at Kansas. So still a good chance to get a good little race in here, and bring this thing home and come away with a finish. Maybe even get a green flag pit stop. Get the core O'Reilly series rolling. But Carl, the O'Reilly curse is out there here tonight. I don't know why, but obviously still lingering here for the core O'Reilly cars.
Yeah, I mean, the first caution, we can definitely, put it on these loose setups, especially early on with the cold tires with the 21. But since then, it's been driver error. There's no other way to put it. It's been drivers making some errors here, whether it's 2 wide, 3 wide, just not giving each other enough room. I don't think I've seen netcode really be involved in any of these cautions either. So the drivers themselves need to get their heads out of their rear. I mean, and get their front ends out of each other's rear is really what it comes down to here tonight. But hopefully we can get something going here, or it's going to be a long night under yellow and a long night in review, and possibly some more suspensions looming as well. But right now it is Jake Lesh out front, Dylan Emerson, Luis Arduna, Bernie Reyes, and Joey Cruz for your top 5. John Crane, Travis Noble, Nathan Nickerson, JP Phillips, and Troy Snyder for your top 10.
The cars are doubling up here as they come through turns 3 and 4, following that pace car one more time here tonight, getting ready to get going back under green, and it'll be all on that number 51 of Jake Lesh to get things rolling here tonight, coming down to the start-finish line, and hits it, holds it, and gets on that gas about 3/4 of the way through. So a lot of drivers are trying to judge, and they're trying to eliminate that that car getting away. I mean, Jake Lesh gets a nice jump out front, and has the opportunity to get that in that clean air. Get all that downforce in the car, and get that car to rotate here. But they're all over the place back here, looking for a spot to go, like it's afternoon or 5 o'clock driving on the Atlanta freeway.
Yeah, 3x3x3 in the middle of this field, and some of our platinum drivers caught in the middle there. You see Alan Elwood and Tommy Ryan trying to figure out how to get through here, but get through here safely as well. It looks like it's maybe calmed down here a little bit with Alan Elwood going down there on the bottom, but 3 wide, real close there, coming off the corner. Some good racing. If this was green from the beginning and we see this, okay, great. It's great racing, but it scares me now anytime we even see this. Unfortunately, is 3 wide now off the corner, and we're going to have another caution here, as looked like maybe John Crane was the one that got up into the outside wall and caused this one.
The flag flies here at lap number 35 of 80.
That's exactly what happened. Turn 4 at Kansas can be a little bit tight coming off the corner, and you see the 16 get into the wall and down into the 54 of Jason Chrisman, and both of them going to walk away with a meatball on this when you see 16, some heavy damage on that one. But going to bring us under another caution, and it is not quite halfway, but I think me and Jimmy need a little break from talking here, and we're going to go ahead and turn over to an early Love to Hear It. sights and sounds and a few more caution laps, unfortunately, here for the Core O'Reilly Series. I want to thank our sponsor here for the series, simraces.com, for everything that they do and helping us bring this broadcast on there. And as I echo the message that I put in there, we apologize for the poor attempt at racing here tonight. But it looks like maybe we'll get maybe a 10-lap green flag run here at some point. Maybe this is the time where we'll actually see a little bit of green flag racing as we're in the back half of the race right now. But I don't know. Unfortunately, there's going to be some major changes come next week with the series, and it's hopefully going to do something to change the tides here and make it a little bit better. But either way, right now it is Nico Garcia leading the way, Joey Cruz, Aaron Edwards, Ethan Winters, and Alan Elwood for your top 5. Joseph Truskowski, Jake Lesh, Dylan Emerson, Joe Sullivan, and Michael Rakes for your top 10.
The drivers finally maybe starting to understand that just drive without hitting each other. You don't like. You see how fast they spread out, which is actually quite surprising. It didn't take long for them to kind of get almost a quarter way around this track already, and it's, for the better, and if we set them single file 40 cars, I mean, you're looking at, the guys would be starting on the backstretch, and it's not what you want to do. If you're out here, you're racing ovals, you should be able to start 2 wide. And be able to figure it out, whether it's staying on the outside and holding your line, or down to the inside and holding it down a little tighter, not being able to drift up. And, I'm riding on board here with Aaron Edwards at the moment, and he's out here, kind of by himself, and I see a couple blinkers out there, and that doesn't help. Those issues could be figured out, whether we need to give the driver, a drive-through penalty or an EOL if it's really causing issues. I mean,
iRacing will do that by itself too.
Yeah, iRacing will even pit you themselves, so if it's bad enough. So I think they're a little more lenient as far as things go, but finally able to get a little bit of a green flag run here, and the drivers, and this is what the drivers want. This is why, this is what Kansas is about. Getting out there, being able to go green, having some good battles. As I'm looking up ahead, up towards the front, it looks like in the top 5 or 6, it looks like they were all 3 wide up there. So I'm going to jockey around here a little bit and keep a bird's eye view here with some of the other cars. And Carl's bouncing around for the fans out there, and trying to keep things interesting for those out there that are continuing to watch here. And we do apologize, obviously, and we always want to, bring a great race, but the drivers have to put that race on for us to bring that hype, bring the energy.
They're not RC cars out there. we can't control them from up here in the booth. It'd be nice sometimes if we could just all of a sudden take control and almost be like like the other pilot and the co-pilots here, and take control of their cars for them. But yeah, there's only so much we can do here from the booth.
I mean, do we need to change the car? Is this too much car for the drivers to handle? Do we need to, do they need to go back to the street stocks? At least when you bump and bang, and they might go around eventually, but they can take a little bit of a beat, and then I see cars coming down in pits. Cruz winners. And I don't know when they pitted last, but obviously getting down in that area now where they could probably make it the rest of the way. We don't know how much fuel and how long they could go here at green flag. Most of the leagues are running right around 25 to 30 laps, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm with 50% fuel or so. So that might be the case here tonight as well, as you see Alan Elwood down in the pits, and along with a lot of other drivers and a bunch staying out. And here's where it gets risky. Have them just make that pit stop under green, and then come back out before you either get lapped or, as the leaders are coming in the pits. But right now, Aaron Edwards, newcomer here out front, leading this thing over JP Phillips and Tommy Ryan, Dylan Emerson up there, along with Joe Sullivan in the top 5. So maybe the drivers were feeling the heat from the booth through the admin's eyes as we watch live. And I guess that's one thing. It's we kind of in a unique position here, and yeah, sure as pit stops were happening, the caution happens, and that's going to play pretty big dividends for those not a lap down and out there in order to come in, and you know they stayed out there. So there was quite a few drivers: Aaron Edwards, J.P. Phillips, Tommy Ryan, Dylan Emerson, Joe Sullivan, Nathan Nickerson, Gilbert, Bernie Reyes, Chase Halford, Troy Snyder, Travis Noble, Brian Vorse. We just seen a message from him earlier. Jared Couch, Chris Hayes, Steve Harris, and Louis Orduna. So 16 cars on the lead lap that will benefit here. They'll be able to come in, pit all those cars one lap down. Will go around and get back in the lead lap, but they'll come out behind those cars. And, you know, a few of those drivers behind Louis Orduna that will be doing that. And it'll be starting probably in that 16th, 17th place with only, you know, about 14 laps to go. Nico Garcia, that's been running up front. Alan Elwood, Jake Lesh. So a few really good drivers back there that have to make their way through the field here at Kansas. And it's not a super easy track to pass on. We've seen the multi-lane racing, and it's been hairy at most. But finally being able to get you know, a decent little green flag run here, and you know, obviously with the pit stops and people coming out with fresh tires, cold tires, you kind of almost expect it by somebody that maybe doesn't have the experience on being able to make that transition, you know, out of the pits back on the track in order to get things done here. So cars will kind of come in and do what they need to do. All the leaders on the lead lap are in. Nico Garcia still out on the track. We'll be waiting for that iRacing to wave those cars around and get them back on the lead lap. But Troy Snyder's Troy Snyder will take the lead here, it looks like, possibly, after all said and done. So, yeah, so maybe a new leader here towards the end of this race. That really this caution really does mix things up, and I was really hoping that the whole field would get a chance to get them stops done.
Yeah, I don't think that that Troy ended up coming down and actually making a pit stop. I think he came into the pits, but I don't think he actually made a pit stop. It looked like he came out of the pits, but it's still registering that he pit on lap number 45. So we'll see maybe the 453 come back in this time by, because I don't think he can make it all the way to the end from lap 45 unless we have a buttload of cautions. And it looks like, yeah, he is going to bring the 453 into the pits. So it should cycle out to J.P. Phillips being your leader right now. And we'll see quite a few cars get that wave around right now to get back on the lead lap. They'll start at the back of the field here. So we're going to double it up after they do. As it looks like still waiting for those wave arounds to happen.
Yeah, once those happen, J.P. Phillips, Tommy Ryan will be up on your front row, and then Aaron Edwards, Dylan Emerson, Nathan Nickerson for your top five. Joe Sullivan, Bernie Reyes, Chris Gilbert, Chase Halford, Travis Noble, Jared Couch, Stephen Harris, Brian Vorse, Chris Hayes, and Louis Orduna for your top 15. Joey Cruz will be back there on NP number 16. So that's a little ways to go. So a couple platinum drivers leading the way here, and then a slew of new drivers. And it's great. Welcome to Core Racing. For sure, good to see the new faces out there and the league continue to grow, but changes are on the horizon. I'm almost guaranteeing that, and hopefully it's not just somebody coming from rookie to their own division or the proper divisions, but we're gonna get this thing back on the green here as J.P. Phillips will lead the way.
Phillips back on the loud pedal, back to racing here at Kansas as we're down to 11 laps remaining in the race. As Phillips leads, now Aaron Edwards side by side with Tommy Ryan in to turn number 1. Looks like Phillips will be electing to go with those 2 tires again here, as only a 10-second pit stop for the number 20. Edwards, Ryan, actually Edwards with a 4-tire stop. Ryan, and maybe only a 2-tire stop as well. Dylan Emerson up there in the 41 as well. We've seen him involved in an earlier incident, but now up there battling for the lead. Joe Sullivan up there, Silver Division Joe Sullivan this season, as was a rough season for the gold member last season, and dropped him down to silver, but up there right now in the top 5. Nathan Nickerson, bronze driver, seen him involved in a couple incidents here, but he's up there in the top 10 as well. And quite a few rookies peppered in to the top 10 as well, showing that they have some speed here for the series if we ever get some green flag runs. But certainly keep an eye on some of the drivers trying to make their way back up through the field. Joey Cruz back here in 14th. He got the lucky dog, so he was able to get in. Well, technically he could have came into the pits, but it looks like he was good to go, so he just rejoined the back of the field, trying to work his way back up through. 3 wide here as Elwood on the outside right now of Truskowski, and 2 drivers that we expect to see battling a lot this season, maybe for the overall championship, as Elwood's definitely usually the man to beat, but right now Truskowski has the points lead coming in to tonight. Right behind him, Nico Garcia, another one that is a platinum driver, certainly looking to factor into this championship as well. But the laps are finally starting to tick down. We're down to 8 laps to go, Jimmy.
Yeah, down to 8 laps to go. They'll go by lickety split here, and newcomer Aaron Edwards out front. I just kind of glanced up. I haven't really don't know much about Aaron, but I know he's been around some ovals and probably has had his fair share of some poopy races out there, and lead the way here. And at number 65, turning some great times. Him and his teammate doing fairly well here tonight. His teammate back just a little bit farther in the field. Getting around here. So, but yeah, some drivers getting caught there a lap down. It's going to net pretty good finishes for some of your other drivers and even some of your newcomers here. But so far, so good. I'm liking the way it's looking here. We got 6 laps to go. Aaron Edwards out front with Dylan Emerson and Chris Gilbert.
Gilbert on the inside as Sullivan trying to move on the outside and try and get a top 3 position here. But yellow flag is going to come out here. And see, the 188 is involved. We'll see if anybody else was involved on this one. And looks like him and the 453 kind of meeting in the middle off of turn number 4. It's been the 188 around and bring us under another caution here tonight. And this could very well be close to, if not, put us into overtime here as well.
Yeah, it's more likely to take us down far enough to either to the green-white checker or just before it. Might be an unofficial green-white checker. We'll find out. So hopefully these drivers can finish it up this time by here and get things up. But I don't think you're going to see much changes for the front. And it's obviously a tough break there for some of your early leaders or early, pole sitters to kind of get up there and get a great finish. And right now, just drivers trying to, I think, survive and get through these first few races until, the hammer comes out and we'll pop out the dents and make sure that all the fenders have been touched at one point or another and get this thing rolling here. Here with the Core O'Reilly series, and get some great racing here for the rest of the season. And it's going to be interesting considering plate track racing is on the horizon.
Once we are done here tonight, we still got plenty of racing here on CRN for the rest of the week. We got the doubleheader tomorrow night with CSRL and the season finale for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series. Looking forward to that one, as we'll see 4 drivers vying for the championship at Homestead. Then on Thursday night, our typical doubleheader is only going to be one. It's just going to be the Core GT Series, as they are headed to, take a look myself here, they are going to be headed to, they just have Magellan, so it's going to be Fuji for the next race, and that's certainly one that I think a lot of drivers kind of look forward to. It's a unique track. It's got a long straightaway on the front stretch there, and certainly some technical sections that weave back and forth pretty nicely. So hopefully good one out there for our sister team with John and Mike on the mics out there. I know Mike out there watching tonight. And again, want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I promise that we do have some green flag racing eventually on CRN. I know it's been a rough couple weeks for not just here, but a few series. And hopefully, they just kind of kick off the winter rust and get some better racing here in the spring. But pace car lights should be out this time by, I believe. Yep, pulling up onto the track. And we are going to have what should be, I believe, an unofficial green-white checkered here. So this can still end in regulation because they are going to get the 2 to go when they take the green flag. And then hopefully the white flag and the checker flag ends this thing out. Aaron Edwards on the pole here for the restart. He gets to control this restart, blinking out here and there. Hopefully it stays clean for him on this restart. The 41 of Dylan Emerson on the outside, Chris Gilbert, Joe Sullivan, JP Phillips for your top 5, Tommy Ryan, Nathan Nickerson, Chase Halford, Bernie Reyes, and Brian Vorse for your top 10. Cars out of turn number 4, and time for a green-white checkered in regulation as the 65 of Edwards back on the loud pedal. We're back to racing here at Kansas. Who has got the hot shoe to get this thing done? Who's going to be in that top 3? We got some bumping, some bump drafting, heading off into turn number 1 to try and get the fields moving here, and hopefully we keep it clean the rest of the way. We got some 3-wide battling, trying to get a picture of it there as you see the 5 and 31 shooting the gap right through the middle, trying to move up through the field. Coming off of turn number 4, will they get back to the white flag? Yes, indeed. White flag in the air, 1 more lap to go. Aaron Edwards leads it by 0.3 of a second over Chris Gilbert, Dylan Emerson for your top 3. Battle for 4th place, real close there with JP Phillips almost getting into the one of Joe Sullivan as we got some wrecking towards the back of the field. But keeping an eye right here as now Tommy Ryan jumps to the inside, and he's going to take over 4th as he have a run to get to 3rd side by side for 2nd place. Aaron Edwards going to get the win here tonight. Chris Gilbert coming home in 2nd. Dylan Emerson in 3rd. Tommy Ryan, Joe Sullivan for your top 5. Chase Halford, JP Phillips, Joey Cruz, Bernie Reyes, and Travis Noble for your top 10, as we at least got a pretty good run there at the end for your leaders on this restart at the end.
Yeah, and I think it was the 80 getting loose in the back that kind of caused that. But yeah, obviously you almost expect it towards the end of the race, somebody losing it, trying to go out, giving it all she got. Nathan Nicholson involved. Oh my goodness. Just watching the wreck back here. Oh, so many cars involved as everybody's trying to get by. It's almost funny, Carl. I mean, obviously, and even I'm sure you're going to have some unhappy campers back there, seeing even Alan Elwood involved back there. So, yeah, another tough week for Aaron and or Alan, excuse me, Alan Elwood and the gang back there. Just, everybody trying to maybe do a little too much, obviously too late, and even with all the cars on the track, just some of the chart, not much checking up, just kind of a wish and a prayer, I think, for some of them drivers to kind of make it through the back of the pack to get things completed here tonight, as it was that white flag. But we'll take a look at that on the backside, so we don't have to go through all that wreck or carnage back there. But Aaron Edwards will be your winner here tonight over Chris Gilbert, Dylan Emerson, and Tommy Ryan, and Joe Sullivan for your top 5. Chase Halford, JP Phillips, Joey Cruz, another decent finisher, and an 8th. Bernie Reyes, Travis Noble for your top 10. Chris Hayes finishes in 11th. Michael Rakes, Billy Rickett, Louis Orduna, Joseph Trukowski, Nico Garcia, Steve Harris, Jared Couch, Brian Vorse, Terry Jansen, and for your top 20. 21st, Nathan Nickerson, Ethan Winters, Troy Snyder, Jake Lesh, Alan Elwood back in 25th. Ricky Renner, Jacob Groove, Jeff Ryan, Jason Lapon, Blaze Alltop, Courtney Nickerson, Zane Bierman, Randy Yoakum, Richie Bradshaw, Dan Phelps, Matt Crockett, Jason Algrini, John Williams, PJ Jackson, John Crane, Jason Chrisman, and Joshua Van Weston for a 42 car field here tonight. Will this be the one and only over 40 or of one of the last? We'll find out as we make some changes, but we're gonna get things moving and get those talking with your drivers here tonight and see how they were able to overcome some of the challenges of the field.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone again out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we will get the top drivers here in for their interviews, and we'll go ahead and I can just rewind it here a little bit. Maybe see if I can catch some of that green flag run that we actually had for a little bit. And Jimmy, third place here tonight is going to go to the 41 of Dylan Emerson.
Hey, Dylan, Jimmy, and Carl, the Booth Cappy.
Yeah, I got you guys.
You get a chance to finally talk to number 41 up here in the booth. And one, congratulations for finishing in that top 3 and surviving tonight's kind of hocus pocus out there. Is I don't know what's going on. I don't know, full moon, iRacing goblins. I don't know. It's not just here with the core. It's been on a lot of series that we've been at, just having some issues, whether it's the Xfinity car itself or just the tracker tire model. Who knows? But you get it done here tonight and get yourself a P number 3. So give us a little rundown of how your race was and how you managed to stay up there and kind of get around and avoid everything.
Yeah, it was a crazy one to say the least. With getting just whacked there early, I was not too thrilled about that. I thought I left enough room. I'll have to go back and look, but not happy about that. So I had to pit right after that one, and then I was just like, well, all right, when can I make this last stop? Because that's what it's going to come down to, is when I can make this last stop and try to make the fuel go to the end, knowing that we're getting cautions every couple laps. But we got a long run there right before that final stop, and I'm like, I'm staying out. I'm going to take this till the last drop of fuel because I know what's coming. And sure enough, it came. And that set me up to be able to get a top 3 finish there at the end.
Yeah, he did a pretty decent job, and obviously that green flag run is what we're looking for. I mean, we know that the incidents will happen, mistakes happen. Nobody's out here a professional, that's for sure. But everybody's out here trying to have fun with this hobby and put on a good show for the fans out there. But you were able to overcome, like I said, the chaos, make a smart decision when to pit and when to stay out, get yourself a top 3, and so we want to say congratulations to that and give you some time for any shots you might have on that number car.
I want to thank you guys for putting on this series and the other series that I run in. So it's really nice to run in both of your guys' series and be able to talk to you guys in more than one series is pretty cool. And I want to thank Tiffany Ellis for my paint scheme. She does a great job at Maximum Edge Designs. So go to her for all your paint scheme needs. And that's all I got.
Roger that. She always puts on a good paint scheme, and it's good to know. So we looking forward to, not only that one here at Core, the Core. I keep wanting to say Xfinity series, but the O'Reilly series. But look forward to hopefully talking to you again, in the future weeks. So again, congratulations on your 3rd place, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 41 of Dylan Emerson. 2nd place here tonight is going to be one of the newer rookies here as well, Chris Gilbert in the 451, getting it done. Chris, you had a pretty fast machine there at the end, and it looks like you kind of pit at the same time that some of the other drivers up there at the front at the end came in on lap number 67. I would assume from there, you knew you were good to go, and you knew you just kind of let it hang out there and try and get as many positions as you could.
Yeah, pretty much. I knew I had nothing to worry about. I just had to go hard, but still be smart and patient at the same time, and just find my holes and make them work.
So you definitely had some good battles getting your way up through there. Any chance you think you could have had a chance at that 65? One more, not that you wanted to see it, I'm sure, but one more caution and green white checker to try and get you up there.
Nah, if we had one more yellow, I would probably have been fourth or fifth. If you start on the outside front row, at least from my experience up there, you were dropping spots, and wasn't hard to pass, but it took time, and there was no time at the end of that race.
Well, either way, you come home in second. You kind of survive all the carnage out here tonight once again, and you finish with a top three. So congrats on the finish here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Now, I just want to give a shout out to the people who told me about this league, Jacob Grube, Jason Pan, and then you for running it. It's been a little bit of a shit show this past couple of weeks, but still fun, and we'll get better.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate that for sure. And once again, congrats. Celebrate this one. We'll see you out there next week.
All right. Thank you, Carl.
That is your second place finisher here tonight. Chris Gilbert in the 451 top spot here tonight. And making his mark early is going to be Aaron Edwards in at the 65.
Hey, Aaron, Jimmy, and Carl, open the booth. You copy?
Hey guys, I got you.
Hey, well, first of all, welcome to Core and making your mark here early tonight and getting a victory. Obviously, not the typical race I'm sure you're used to, as obviously a lot of little bumps that we need to iron out for sure. But definitely got a good chance to see you get out there, get out front, and see what that sim shop machine had for the track here tonight. And really was kind of impressed the way you were running and getting around there. Your teammate was up there side by side with you for a while. Looked good. The two cars matching colors and stuff. It's always see teammates kind of run around each other and know that there's some sort of camaraderie out there. So, I just wanted to let you know I recognize that and see that. Want to say congratulations on your victory here tonight. But we wanted to just kind of get your side and how things were kind of out there. What you did to kind of maintain and get those right choices to be at the front at the end.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. Glad to be here. Race was okay. We didn't really have the speed early on, for sure, but we just adapted pretty much. I just kind of honed in on short run speed best I could, and at the end, my goal was pretty much I'm not pitting. I'm going to maintain my track position at all costs. You have to adapt. Any race car driver has to adapt to their circumstances. So I just was maintaining my track position at all costs. When I get within the last fuel window, which was, I don't know, 25 laps, I think I pit with less than 20 to go under caution. So we come down. Luckily enough, most of the fuel was trapped a lap down because of that green flag cycle. I stayed out as long as I could, mainly because the guys in front of me short pit. You have to do something different from them. I was going to short pit them, but they pit so early. I was like, all right, well then I'm going to run it all the way dry, and I'm either going to have better tires here, or they're going to something might happen here, so I'm going to run it all the way out. Trapped them all lap down, maintained track position, came out 4 tires, was like the second row on that couple of last restart, and just went up there and took it. Just had to take it. Took the first chance I could to get the lead. You never know. I mean, with a race like that, you're not really going to know how long the race is going to stay green for. So if you get a run, you get a chance. You got to put your nose in that hole and take it. I mean, I'm not trying to get in anybody in my first race, but we were gonna go for it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you did what you needed to do, and I don't know much about you, but I do know that just getting a glance at your iRating that you have time on track, and being able to make those decisions and being able to put yourself in a spot where you need to be. So I kind of had a funny feeling that 65 was going to be there at the end, and of course I was pretty much right. So you know who's out there. They say iRating's not everything, but when yours is up there as yours is, it's kind of inevitable that you've seen this situation a time or two. So we want to say congratulations for overcoming the obstacles here tonight. Again, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing a 65 maybe up here again, talking to us here shortly. But we'll give you a little bit of time for any shouts you might have in at number 65.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. I just shout out to the whole team. Shout out to the whole Delta Sport team. Ethan, I'm glad he could come along and do some racing with us. He kind of got caught up, unlucky on that last pit cycle under green. He short pit like the other guys did, and he got trapped a lap down when the caution did come out. Thanks to Brian. He was in the race. He was in the 80, racing for the satellite team, Evolution SimSport. And, thanks to SimShot for coming on, Unified Potential, Spinny Whoosh, Sudspeed, Sim Racing Setups, and Autoverse. Thanks to all the guys who help us go fast and put these cars on track.
I really appreciate the shout outs. And again, congratulations on your victory here tonight at Kansas. Looking forward to future ones. But this one here, we'll go to let you celebrate with your friends and family.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 65 of Aaron Edwards, getting it done here as, shockingly, Jimmy, surprisingly, we get it done in regulation, as rough as it was. Either way, it's done here in regulation, and we will hopefully see the field back out there in whatever form that is come next week, as the field is going to head to Talladega next week. So say what you will, but Talladega is going to be interesting to say the least before they head to Texas to round out the first half of the season. Want to again thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe to get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. We still got 3 more races coming up this week. But for myself and Jimmy from the Kansas Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.
My people up in the chandeliers, the wine and dining, the menu is blood, sweat, and tears. Everybody ready, raining down confetti, champions are born right now. Ain't about the glamour, click goes the hammer, run when you hear that sound. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. I don't believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need your cheers, world's gonna say it. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Dreams just keep dripping out of their golden cups. I'm starving, leftovers ain't enough. Ain't about the Royals, they do nothing for you. All you got is you right now. Who is gonna falter? Who is gonna conquer? Better never count me out. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. I don't believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need no tears, world's gonna say it. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Gotta make it to the finish line every day, every day. Gotta make it to the finish line. Gotta make it to the finish line every day, every day. Gotta make it to the finish line. Heroes never die. Gotta make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. I don't believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need no tears, world's gonna say it. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. people up in the chandeliers. The whining and dining, the menu is blood, sweat, and tears. Everybody ready, raining down confetti. Champions are born right now. Ain't about the glamour, click goes the hammer. Run when you hear that sound. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. Power believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need your cheers, world's gonna say it. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Dreams just keep dripping out of their golden cups. I'm starving, leftovers ain't enough. Ain't about the royals, they do nothing for you. All you got is you right now. Who is gonna falter, who is gonna conquer? Better never count me out. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive, even if we crawl to the finish line. Power believe it, underdog dreaming, don't need no tears, world's gonna say it. Heroes never die, gonna make it to the finish line. Gotta make it to the finish line every day, every day. Gotta make it to the finish line. Gonna make it to the finish line every day, every day. Gotta make it to the finish line.